Hello and welcome to the Graceful Growth Podcast, a show where I dive into this never-ending journey of growth that we're all on in this life. Here, I welcome transparency and vulnerability, along with some laughs and some love, in an effort to create a safe space to learn and grow from one another. Whether you're a new or returning listener, I am so grateful that you decided to spend some time with me. I am your host, Brianna Bonner. Now let's get to the growth. Okay, and we're on. I'm so excited. I can't even contain my excitement because you probably have guessed already because you're looking at this after I've named it. And I have a guest, a return guest. Welcome back. Say hey, Taylor.
Hey! Hi, everybody. Happy to be here.
Back. Yeah, so we're not even going to do the quick six because you guys know her. If you don't know her, then you need to go back and listen to the first episode that she was on because it was so gold. And today is a little different because I didn't tell her what we're talking about, so she's just going to have to go with the flow here. So
literally, I have no clue what we're about to talk about, so what y'all are getting from me is real and raw. Which, dang, I like some type of preparation, but shoddy. Here we go.
So we just finished, because Taylor's amazing, we had a Bible study. It's just three of us, but the Lord says when two or three are gathered, He's there. So it was amazing, and that brings me to the topic of being around like-minded individuals in this age. Taylor, so I have questions. Tell me, what has been like convicting you lately about like the company that you keep or like the things that you're into, and like talk to us. Wow. I wish y'all could see the face she just
Yes,
gave.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, we just had a Bible study. I put it on. I didn't make it any big post about it. I was just being obedient. And really what I'm trying to do is build a community of women who are like-minded, who believe in God, and who literally just want to be surrounded by other like-minded women. Because when I look around my life, I have amazing women in my life, but when it comes to who I can call on, who can pray for me, who can get on their knees with me, like, I'm trying to build a community of people who are God-fearing, who are after God's heart, and that's what today was, and it was so fun.
It was so good.
Y'all, it was only me plus two, but I'm so happy. It was literally everything it needed to be. But going back to community, lately I've been finding myself getting. It's like I want to say pause and like restart, but here y'all getting it raw for me. So the question was like, what has been like convicting me about community and like what I surround myself with? Mm-hmm. Honestly, that's kind of a tough question. Oh my gosh,
The way she, okay, I'll take it over because I'm gonna answer the question from my perspective too, because I think that we both kind of like hit it around the same time, and like you're a lot more vocal with me about what it is that you're going through, and then I'd be like, oh my God, I've been dealing with this whole time by myself, and I haven't said anything to anybody, but you'd be like, girl, and like then you just like vomit it out, and I'm like, oh my goodness, me too. And like, I don't know, lately, and like this is not Taylor's situation, but lately for me anyway, you know, I'm thinking about, you know, we both are actually, I didn't even announce. So last time that Taylor was on here, she was not an engaged woman, but now she is. So we're both engaged. Amazing.
God is so good. Oh my gosh. I can't wait till y'all see my man. I don't know if y'all see my man already, but he's like so fine. He's so perfect.
But yeah, so getting married and everything, like I feel like a lot of people just kind of like throw that around, but like that's really a big deal. Like that's a big deal. You are making a covenant before the Lord that you are going to be with this person and take care of this person and grow with this person literally
for a lifetime,
the rest of your earthly life. Like that's a big, big deal. And I'm just thinking, like, I've said on this podcast multiple times how I want to be a mom, I want to have kids, and like I need my kids to be around people who embody the life that I I don't even want to say it like that. I want my kids to be protected. Actually, let me say it like that. I want my kids to be protected. And so, first of all, their father needs to be protected. And right now, I'm good with that. If, things were to happen, their father would protect them in a spiritual way. But also the company that I keep, when my kids look back at the type of mother that I was, they're not just going to look at me. They're going to look at what I was doing, who I was hanging around, the things that I was saying, and that's how they're going to remember me. Not what I wanted to happen, but what I was actually doing. And I'm not saying, because I know my friends listen to this, none of y'all that I'm talking about, I'm not talking about this like, ooh, my friends are bad or whatever. Or like, I am just going somewhere, like mentally, spiritually, emotionally. And not to say that people can't come with me, but like my focus is just different. Like it doesn't even have to be a spiritual thing, but like, how like when you've been in a long-term relationship with your fiance, you don't get advice from people who are single. Like it ain't no knock. It's just you don't know what I'm going through right now. Like so that's kind of what convicted me to be like, okay, like I need to be. And again, not even in a spiritual sense, but like I need to be around people who thinking about where their kids gonna go to school, like stuff like that. Like it's just there's just a shift,
And back to your question about community and what it is for me and what I've been convicted of or called to, however you want to call it. But not too long ago, I was hanging out with a group of my friends. They were all business owners. This was something I've never done before. It was about maybe 5 to 6 girls, and they were all business owners. And we were at an event, and it was we were kind of slow, so everybody was just talking about their dreams and aspirations. And I have never been surrounded by women with big goals and big dreams. So when I was exposed to that, and we're talking, what we want to do and big things, it was new to me, and it literally struck something in me that was like, oh my gosh, I need to be surrounded by women like this all the time. Like we were all new, we really didn't even know each other, and we were together, and that small bit of 2 hours we hung out, I was filled so much just by being around people who were like me. They want to own 10 stores, they want to open up this, they want to design this, and it was like, I shouldn't have been exposed to that, because baby, now I'm like, okay, so like, and it really struck something in me, and that kind of brings us to today with me wanting to create a community of women who were kind of like that, not even in business, but in God too. Like, I want to be surrounded by people who have bigger dreams than themselves, or that want to break generational curses, or want to own franchises, or want to do big things. I'm a big believer. I'm a big dreamer. I'm a big risk taker. That's what I am. So me being around people who are not on that level, it is, in a sense, it's kind of like a disservice to yourself. If anybody is not on where you want to be, I was actually listening to a podcast this morning, and it talked about how conversations are so important, and watch who you're conversating with and what's being talked about. I don't want to be around friends that are talking about other friends that are talking about this and that and that. I want to be talking about God. I want to be talking about building. I want to be talking about planting seeds. I want to talk about things that fill my soul,
fill you up.
I think that really is what makes me want to create. I don't have that community right now. I don't. I mean, I have a couple business owner friends. I got some other friends that aspire to own businesses, which I know it's going to happen, but I want to be surrounded by people who are thinking big like me, who believe big like me. No,
I get what you're saying. I think this is a cliche. You'll know what I be saying about cliches on here all the time. Like, they're cliches because they're true, but you are the average of like the 5 people that you hang around the most. And if you are the smartest person in a room, that's not good. Like obviously, like, I feel like on the surface, it's like, okay, cool, I'm the smartest person in the room, I'm the richest person in the room. What do you have to learn by being the best at something? Like, in order to grow, I feel like you have to be around people who are doing, and it don't have to be a whole lot more than you, but just a little bit more than you, so that you can learn from them. Because if you're not growing, you're dying. And I I'm sorry, I'm not in a place right now where I'm ready to go. So I need to be growing. And so for me, it's like, okay, I need to be around people who are trying to grow. I feel like essentially that's what you're saying is like, I need to be around bigger.
Yep. And I actually screenshotted this earlier. I seen it on Facebook and oh, it was so good. And it literally falls in alignment of what we're talking about in friends and being with the right people. Ooh, okay, so it says Jesus healed a man because of his friend's faith.
Yes.
The friends you pick matter.
Yes.
You better be surrounded by people who are going to get on their knees and pray for you. Yes. You need to be surrounded by people who pour into you, who pour living water into you. This world is already filled with people who are naysayers and negative and Debbie Downers.
I'm like, oh, you can't do that and you can't do this. And this is going to happen if you do that, or be careful about this. Yep. I have enough doubt in my own head. Yep. I don't need anybody around me filling me with more doubt. Like, y'all know the inception of this podcast, even the first episode of this podcast was recorded a whole year and a half before I actually put it out. Not because of anything that anybody else was saying, because all my friends were like, yeah, go Bree. Where's the podcast? We want the podcast. And I myself was like, nah, I can't do the podcast. Imagine if I had people around me that were like, yeah, it's probably going to suck anyway. And not to say that people are like that, but I feel like you can read in between the lines sometimes when people are like, you know what, you're not really for me the way that I thought you were for me, and like we can't continue to associate. And no harm done, no bad blood. I don't hate you, but like we can't be around each other anymore. You're not filling me up.
Everybody listening, okay, if you don't listen to anything, please listen to this. If you have a dream, if you have a goal, if you have something you want to do, and you, first off, when God plants those seeds inside of you, if you're not, anyways, God plants those things inside of you. If you express that to someone, a loved one, a friend, and they are doubtful and they don't believe in you, I guess if it's your spouse, you can't run, but get away from people who are doubters. Get away from people who see limits. People who see limits only live to their own expectation, which isn't really high. You need to get around people who say, girl, do it. Girl, go for it. Girl, bigger.
You
girl,
can do
bigger.
anything.
Yeah, and it's like, I make sure first off, when God gives me a vision or a dream, you got to baby it. It's a seed. It's in seed form. So telling the wrong person will kill the dream. Just like Bree said, she recorded the podcast and then dropped it a year later. Somebody stopped that from happening. Somebody killed the seed that was planted. You got to be careful with who you expose your dreams to. They are either going to water it or rip it up. Y'all, man, make sure you're surrounded by people who believe in you, people who are going to water you. Them average people, the people that are just naysayers, get them out your life, bro. There's no reason why you should, but we've been friends 10 years, but that's my cousin. I don't care who that is. If they're not feeding you, if they're not filling you up, if they're always negative, move on. If you want big in life, you got to go for big. If you want, I could go on and on about that. I'm just really, I'm not a doubter. If anybody comes up to me, I'm about to water you so damn much, it's crazy.
And I want to say too, like, this doesn't mean like, okay, everybody who's ever said anything bad, like, get them out of your life. People show you who they are by continued actions.
True.
It's not a one-time thing and like, oh, you gotta go. Unless the one thing is just so egregious that it's like, nah, you really never needed to be around me anyway. And I feel like you could probably tell who that is. But like, if it's just like a continued, everything that you say, they have like something nasty to say. And like, it might not even be like it might not even be like overtly nasty. Like they think that they're helping or something like that, but it's just not. And look,
pay attention. Listen, you gotta pay attention to the patterns.
Yeah,
that's what you gotta do. If you told your friend this one time and she was like, "Oh, girl, that's not for you," and then you told her a different dream and she's still on the same.
She's still saying the same thing.
That tells you everything you need to know about that friend.
And you know what? I have to say too. I have to say this. You know what? I'm about to have a little transparency moment too, because I'm not sure that my mom is going to listen to this episode, but I think that if she were, I can already kind of tell. Oh my goodness, I'm like even hesitant about saying this because I'm like, if she is listening to this, she's gonna be like, now why did you tell these people that I was black? And it's not even like that, but I know that my mom's like, okay, the spiritual, like I didn't realize you was getting that deep with it, but like it is literally, it means a lot to me. And I have to say, maybe what we're saying sounds harsh, but at the same time, I want to be like, handle them with love, because you're actually dealing with the spirit. You're not dealing with that person. And it could just be that spirit of negativity and doubt and envy, which most of the time that's what it is when you have somebody who you're considering a friend so doubtful about everything that you're going, they're actually just upset that it's not them. That spirit of envy is just in them, and they literally cannot be happy because that spirit holds them in. And just pray for that to be delivered from them. But you don't have to, there's no hate, is what I'm trying to say. And I felt compelled to say that, because there is no hate. It's not like that. But you, just like with everything else, you know, like when you have friends and it's just like, even in middle school, like, okay, we're not on the same wavelength no more. Like we don't do the same things. We don't hang, we don't go to the same parties no more, basically. Like we're not. And it's no bad blood. It's just we are not on the same wavelength. It's
truly life.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been people that I've had to let go and stop talking to, and they're still amazing, great people. Life is life. And the beauty about it, we get to choose who we want in our life. We get the power to choose that.
You are a willing participant in your own life story. Like,
and if your people in your corner aren't watering you or feeding you, it's your job. It's your life. It's your job to go find your crowd. Go find your people. Don't sit in self-pity, and damn sure don't sit around the people who are tearing you down.
Yes.
This is not no bad blood. I mean, this is the hard truth. This ain't even like, this is it. It's your life. Yeah. You better add people to your life that you want to be added to your life, and you better cut people out who are not serving you anymore. You have to, when it's your time to go, it's your time to go, and nobody knows when that is. So you better live your life every day like it's your last. And I'm speaking to myself when I say that too, but be very protective about who you keep in your inner circle. That is so powerful. Who you keep beside you matters. Who is in your inner circle matters. If they don't reflect you, if they are not a reflection of you, they are in the past. And you don't even have to explain to people. We're grown. You don't got to explain to nobody why you don't want to talk to them no more. Like, man, I could go on and on about that. Like, life is life to everybody.
And so, something that you said to me like a while ago, you actually say it often. I don't even know if you say it, but like, the protection of your peace is so big, because like, it's a lot of things that we can't control.
Oh my God.
It's a lot of things that we can't control. But the things that we can control, you need to be controlling them. And that is the company you keep. In my, like, in my mom's episode, she talks about something that her dad used to say to her all the time, was like, association brings about assimilation, or something to that effect. But basically it means that like the people who you're around, like when people, like guilty by association, when people look at you and they see who you hang around, even if you not doing what they doing, you doing what they doing, because that's who you're around. Like if an orange hanging around a whole bunch of bananas, it's probably because they think it's a banana. It's what it is. Like, what do you want your life to reflect? And you are in control of that. Like, take the actions to make sure that your life reflects what you actually want it to.
Ooh, and then this is good too. Because I see a lot of people say, oh, I need new friends. I need new friends.
You need a you. Like, no, I'm just kidding.
Are you a good friend?
Ooh.
Yeah, you need good friends. But are you a good friend?
What's a good friend to you, Taylor?
A good friend. Oh, it can be so many things. So someone who's going to water you, someone who is going to uplift you, someone who is going to listen, someone who is going to give you the truth, no matter if it's good or bad. So a friend is someone who's going to be there for you no matter what. So no matter what the situation is, no matter what's going on, they're going to be by your side to cheer you on. They're kind of like your cheerleaders, I call them.
Okay.
Anybody who's my friend, I say they're on my team. Like they're courtside, they got jerseys on.
Yeah.
When I win, my whole team jumping up and down. Right. When I lose, my team
sad.
Come on, let's pray for me. Come on, let's do something. But a friend should be a person that is on your team that is so happy when you reach milestones, and when things happen in life. They're there to mourn with you too. You just gotta be that person that you want to have around you. Like this community I'm seeking out. Like I am the person that's gonna pray for you. I'm the person that's gonna water you. I'm the person that is gonna try to give you the truth, the godly truth, and maybe even my little opinion in there a little bit too. But like I feel like what I am is what I am looking for. You know,
I want to expand on the truth because this is a big one for me in this time. A friend needs to be able to hold me and other people accountable. Ooh, if you actually know me, you know my potential, you know what I can do.
Brady should literally be the freaking president, but that's a whole nother topic. She's literally the smartest person in the world. She can do anything. She can organize anything. Her brain probably has like files in it. Like
it does. It's organized in files.
If you know me, I'm the total opposite. Like my brain's everywhere. I'm like literally Bree is capable of so much. It's crazy.
But my friends know that about me, and it's like even with this podcast, y'all know like if I skip a week, somebody,
me,
Taylor, going to be on my line like, so what's up with the podcast, sis?
It's Friday.
That's a friend to me. That is a friend. You know my potential. You know what I said that I wanted to do, and you are holding me to it. I don't need no yes women around me. I don't need you to be like, oh, it's fine. Like you can. I don't need that around me. I give myself a little too much grace sometimes to not do things that I am holding myself to. A friend holds you accountable and tells you the truth. You are actually not doing me any services by like just agreeing with everything that I say, especially if you know that I'm wrong. We can have a little healthy disagreement, but you know that I'm wrong and you're continuing to do this anyway. And likely if you know that I'm wrong, you're probably talking about me behind my back about how wrong you knew I was. I'm just saying, that's not a friend. Like,
and I do want to add this in there. I've been saying, if they're negative or they're doubters, get rid of them. I don't mean that literally. You probably have people that really are your good friends that maybe you have a dream and they don't believe it or they don't see it. You cannot put your dreams in the hands of other people because they are never going to treat it the way you would.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, y'all, if it's repetitive, if the negativity is repetitive, if the drama is repetitive, if the talking about other people is repetitive, if they don't reflect who you want to be, man, go find you a crowd. And if you can't find a crowd, you better freaking build one. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
And
that right, because I'm not even going to say too much, but I got a couple in my life right now that you don't ever have nothing good to report. You don't ever have anything positive to say. You ain't ever having a good day. I can't do it.
So when I was in corporate America, I was surrounded by older women. They were all at least 50, 60 up. And y'all, I shit you not, every single day these ladies were mad at the world.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. And it was so crazy because to be surrounded by that, if I didn't protect myself, I was going to fall in the trap of being negative. Oh, it's just another day. Tomorrow's this.
It's so infectious unless you do something to stop it. Like it literally just starts to, and you don't even notice it. It's so insidious. It just like slowly starts to creep in, and then all of a sudden you yelling at people on the highway. Mad when you wake up, like you typing out emails, extra angry. You hit a click, click, clack, and it's not a good click, click, clack. It's like an angry click, click, clack. Like all of a sudden, you one of them nasty people at work. Like, you have to. You got to put a stop to it when you see it coming. Because if you just allow, and I think that's the other thing. Sometimes we allow things because it's like, okay, well, it's not that harmful because, like, that's not me. Like, if they want to do that, then they can be like that, and you just kind of let it happen. I think we do it with our friends, our coworkers, our spouses, like, whatever. They can just, you know, it's not going to affect me. No, it absolutely does affect you. And then you don't even realize it until you're in the midst of it, and it's like, oh my, like, when did this happen? Why are things so turbulent? It's like, because you allowed it to happen, and you did. I don't want to say rebuke because I'm not trying to be like preacher, like, but you did not put a stop to it. You didn't say, let me remove myself from this situation. And you don't have to be combative, but like, hey, y'all, I really don't want to talk about this today. That goes such a long way, because then they may not stop doing that, but they gonna stop doing it around you.
And, you know, we might be having people that's listening, and maybe you are the complainer or the doubter. That's just an internal war within yourself that you got to work out. Life is sweet. Life is good. You shouldn't be in fight mode all the time. You shouldn't be always negative. If you can't find one thing to be happy about, it's time to
reevaluate some things.
It's time
wake up with a grateful heart. That is a game changer for me. Like, you wake up and name 3 things that you are grateful for every single morning, and watch how your brain changes. Watch how things change for you. Like, when I start to think of it, even when I start complaining about things of like, oh man, like, all these emails, I say, you know what? I have an office to work in. Wow. I got to drink clean water today. Wow. When you think about all the things that you do have, it is very, very hard to start complaining about all the things that you wish were different.
So my fiance just gave me this, and it's called the 3 C's, and I think everybody should apply this. We should never condemn, criticize, or complain about a person or a situation. Successful people don't have time for that.
Oof. One more time. Who doesn't have time for that?
Successful people don't have time for that. The 3 C's we always need to keep in mind. Never condemn anybody. So with me saying all this, I'm not condemning anybody. I'm trying to get the right people to open their mind about who they should be surrounded by.
Yes.
Okay? And then criticize. Who are we to criticize? And when we're talking about this, we're not criticizing anybody. We're literally trying to open the eyes to people. Like, it's not okay to be a complainer. It's not okay to be a Debbie Downer. It's not okay to be the person that's sucking the life out of other people. That's not okay to be. And then to complain. Okay, I'm working on that. But anytime I even catch myself complaining, I'm just like, okay, snap out of it. Like, the Bible even tells us we shouldn't complain. So it's like, come on, Taylor. Don't never condemn, criticize, or complain. But that's something we should always think about, and that's fresh off the press. We just
I love that because, like, wow,
we just literally talked about that. I love that man, my husband, my fiance, both, whatever. Like, that man waters me so much. That is even forget your friends. Who are you in a covenant with? Who are you spending the rest of your life with? That's an even deeper topic to have, but whoever it is, make sure they're God-fearing. That's all I gotta say. If they're God-fearing, then you're fine.
I wish that we were videotaping this so that you can see all of Taylor's expressions.
Oh my gosh! We got a camera today.
that was a strong one on that. She really meant that. Okay, I have to put you on. Actually, I'll take it out if you don't want it in here. Okay. But y'all will hear me having this conversation if she says it is cool.
Oh my god!
Talk about the pink room.
Oh, child.
Okay,
please.
So y'all are hearing it. So we are actually sitting in the pink room, which Taylor. I actually do wish that I would have brought my camera so that y'all could see the fruits of her labor. Honestly, the fruits of her labor. We are in the pink room.
The pink room is my shop.
Yes, tell us.
The pink room, I actually just had my soft launch. Not last weekend, but the weekend before that. Yeah. About 2 weekends ago. So I'm like, literally, this is week number 2 being open. I do forevermore permanent jewelry out here, and then I have my hat room out here, and I have regular jewelry out here. Ooh, I didn't know how much in detail you want me to go with the pink room.
I want you to tell us about the pink room.
Oh, it's a lot to talk about. So, guys, for the past year and a half, I've been doing permanent jewelry, and I've been doing pop-ups and pop-up at boutiques and markets. That's what I did. You know, I did permanent jewelry, which if you don't know what that is, just Google it.
When did you start this, by the way?
I started in November of 2022.
Okay, yeah.
So my baby just hit a year last November, so we're going into year 2. But anyway, so I did markets for about a year, and then actually this past December I was praying and I was asking God, like, hey, where can I be planted? I want to be planted somewhere where people can actually come into a place. And long story short, he said, girl, you're in it. And so this little pink room that we're in right now is actually, it's my dad's shop. I've been using it for storage for the last year. So it's been mine. It's literally been, all my event stuff has been crammed in here. So when I prayed and I felt like God gave me that revelation, like, hey, you're in it. At first, if you know me, baby, I wouldn't have, God's will, because baby, I wouldn't have chose this small little town. I would have chose Houston or somewhere popping. But God planted me here, and it was so perfect because, first off, my dad's a landlord. Let's just talk about the perks of that. The perks they're just awesome. Like, my dad's going to fix this place up. My dad, baby, rent is not what rent should be, so let's say that. But I prayed about it, and God told me, I'm already in it. So as an obedient servant, I did just that. Literally, the next day, I'm converting this whole house into a studio. This wasn't a $5,000, $10,000 renovation. It was literally a labor of love. I don't know how much money I put in it, but I can guarantee it wasn't more than $200. Literally, everything I had, I had already all the decorations I had, floating shelves I bought, the desk I bought, but again, probably not even $200. But anyway, so I decided to transform this 2-bedroom, 1-bath house into my studio, and within literally 2-3 weeks, it was done. I painted it, I renovated it as much as I could, and now I finally have a home for my business. It is so cool. It's so surreal. To see the fruits of my labor come to fruition is just so crazy to me. And then to see God's hand on my life is even more crazy. And all I do is believe and obey and continue to walk. Continue to take steps. You can't get held up. You can't stop. If you don't know what you're doing, just take the next baby step. Take the next right step if you don't know what to do. Because trust me, I had friends asking me all type of details about the pink room. I said, child, I don't know. Like, I'm just being obedient. I don't know. I ain't got no details. I don't know what my hours are. I don't know what,
I don't know nothing.
And then here I am. I've been open for 2 weeks, and it's been awesome. I'm in a different area, so I'm building my clientele right now. Mm-hmm. So, baby, just join the Chamber of Commerce. I'm about to take this little town over.
I can feel it. I can definitely feel it.
You might even see Taylor for mayor in these. I'm telling you, y'all, one thing about me, I'm a high achiever and I'm a go-getter. And to know that God placed me in my hometown is crazy because that's not what I would have chose. But I'm here now, and now I'm about to eat it up. But yeah, that's the pink room, and we're here right now.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
I just hosted my first Bible study inside the pink room. That was so amazing. That was so awesome.
I'm really proud of you. I'm super proud of you. You really,
you got a front row seat to it, bro.
I literally
got a front row seat, and
it's so inspiring. I think I talked about this a couple episodes ago when I was like by myself. Which I got a couple people lined up, but I have been so inspired by this woman sitting in front of me right here because she's so unapologetic about it. Like, you're not gonna, like, I remember my mom listening to the last episode with Taylor, and she was like, I didn't know that Taylor was so spiritual. I said, oh, baby, you not going to talk to Taylor, and God not going to come into the conversation. That's just not happening. But, like,
you know what, too, that I love about that? I didn't, me being me, sometimes I don't even notice that. So it hit me one time when one of my friends was referring to me, and one of her guy friends, this was a guy I used to work with, he was a supervisor like me, he was like, oh, is that the godly girl? She's always talking about God. But that made me so happy because I didn't notice, like, to be referred to as the godly girl.
Yeah.
Hey, that's me.
That is me. And so I we were talking about this actually in our Bible study. It wasn't no secret or nothing. We gonna talk about it anyway. But we were talking about how like when God gives you a vision or something and you like choose not to follow it, how he continues to be like, hey, excuse me, like I gave you something, like let's go ahead and move forward with that. The name of this podcast, I actually didn't even know the meaning of it, but it was in my head all the time. This podcast was named before I recorded an episode. It was Graceful Growth the whole time, and I did not... That meant nothing to me at the time, because for me... Well, actually, I'm not even going to say it meant nothing to me. I was just like, yeah, Graceful Growth. I don't know why that came to me, and it's sticking, because I had several names, but that's sticking for some reason. It sounds good.
What were the other names?
I think it was like... Tea with Bree, or they were not cute. The Graceful Growth, or for
that's literally
reason,
perfect.
It was
God gave you that, bro.
With me. And I was like, yeah, Graceful Growth, because I'm going to talk about like growing in adulthood and being graceful about it. The way that is so surface level for what I actually want to do with this, like, girl, great. That's enough. Like, because yes, graceful growth, but at the same time, like, that's not what I meant. And Taylor awakened something in me the first episode that she was here. And, like, I kind of ignored it. But, like, again, when God gives you something, it keeps tugging at you. It keeps tugging at you. And I found myself, and it was a very weird feeling. I found myself almost, like, trying not to mention my spirituality or, like, talk about my testimony on the podcast. And then I was like, this is not for me. God gave me this to do his will, and if I'm sharing with other people who maybe have kind of walked this journey or walked something similar to it, that's who I'm talking to. If you don't like, and this is not being ugly, if you don't like this podcast is not for you, but like, yep. My dad has told me all the time, and I think I've talked about this. I'm not really sure because I've not dug deep into this, but my dad has always told me how favored I am. And then when I told him about
if you know Taylor, Bree, you know, bro. Literally, if you know Bree, I
hadn't even talked about it. But then I told my dad about meeting Taylor and like the things that we talked about. He said, "Oh, she got favored too." And I said, "What does this mean? And how does he know it? He ain't even met her before." But like sometimes I don't even have the words. Like, I don't even have the words, but this is what this is here for. And the graceful growth is talking about how we grow in this journey with God. And that is not what I knew at the start of this, but it's here now. And again, like, that's why I wanted Taylor to talk about the pink room and just like being obedient, because like while we're doing two different things, and she, not even a comparison, she is well ahead of me because she be obedient and don't be asking questions. I like to ask questions, take notes, and be like, so now what did you mean when you said podcast? Did you mean that I needed to buy a microphone, or was I going to be a part of somebody? Like, I ask way too many questions, and Taylor just be like, yo, that's what you said, I'm going to do it. And even if she does it wrong, she like, she'd be like, well, I was listening.
Oh, okay. It's not easy being obedient. It's hard.
Especially, you said that you weren't worried about this when we talked about like those struggles of like other voices, like, because that was the podcast that we did together. But you were talking about internal voices, and my problem has always been external of like, what are people going to think? What are they going to say? And I think he is molding me and shaping me. It ain't about that, baby.
Well, look at no. Well, the thing about that, I listened to someone else say it. There's levels that you get to when you don't give a damn about nobody else. Like when you start off, of course, like what are they gonna say? Are they not gonna like it? It's normal. It's human, okay? Yeah, right. But once you get to different levels and you elevate, baby girl, baby boy, you will not be worried about what another human has to say. People are always going to talk about you.
Yes.
You do a lot, they're going to talk about you. You do a little bit, they're going to talk about you. You're not good enough, or people are always going to have something to say. But like I said, it's levels where that shit becomes just like you fly higher above that. Yeah. Like, okay, cool.
And I heard on another podcast, if everyone likes you, you're doing something wrong. And then I heard on a different podcast, because the podcast that I just am talking about, it's a bodybuilding podcast. So like they weren't talking about Jesus or nothing. Like, they're Christian, but they weren't talking about Jesus. It's just like, yeah, people are not going to like you. Then later the same day, I was listening to another podcast and they were like, yeah, people aren't going to like you. They didn't even like Jesus. And I said, you know what? And who am I in comparison to that man?
Oh my God. That's crazy, Bree. I think that was a pivotal point for me. When I used to be in college, when I was in college, I was a supervisor, and I don't know, old ladies love to fucking bully me. I don't know what it is with these motherfuckers. Yeah. I'm sorry. You need to bleep that out. I don't know what it is with old people and bullying me, but it got to the point when I was a freshman in college, or I was young in college, and I had a supervisor role. And I feel like there were always certain people after me, and it used to bother me so bad. Like, I'm doing my job. I'm way better at anybody at my job. I'm doing this, and people still were shooting flaming arrows at me, and I never understood it. And I think I was listening to TD Jakes, and he told me they hated Jesus. What thinks you're exempt? Right. And that changed the game for me. Yeah. It really was like a light bulb, like, oh shit, people don't matter. Yeah. If they hate Jesus, they're already going to hate me. So now prepare yourself for it.
Yeah, exactly. You know what's going to happen. And like, how silly of you not to prepare for something that you know is going to happen. Like a hurricane coming into town and you say, I'm not going to go get no food. Why would you do that?
You can't ever put anything in the hands of other people, because they will ruin it. If you want them to like you, you're doing it for the wrong reason.
The wrong reason.
This is never to be liked. Being liked is not what.
That's not the goal. It's not the goal.
No, it's God put you on this planet to do His will, whatever that is for anybody.
And He gives everyone a gift. It says it. He gives everyone a gift. So whatever that gift is for you to be able to do what you got to do, whatever vision He put in your... If He didn't give you a vision to not fulfill it, like you...
And look, I don't want this to go over some people's head, because some people are in positions where they don't feel like they have talents, where they don't feel like they have gifts, where they don't feel like...
I've been there.
So I don't want to say that God does give everybody gifts and talents, but if you don't know yours yet, I'm telling you, it's coming.
It's coming. Yeah.
Whatever you
have a purpose.
Listen, whatever you're good at naturally, whatever you love naturally, God is so good. He's going to align it together. Yeah. Like he's going to align it. So if you feel like you don't have a purpose or a goal or anything,
seek it out.
I'm about to say, call me. I'll help you. I'll pay for you. But seriously, like, man, everybody has a purpose, and the purpose is big. It's really big. That's why I can only be around big dreamers. I ain't gonna get too Bible on y'all. Because baby, I'm about to say, seriously, y'all, man, don't sleep on yourself. Water yourself. Treat yourself nice. Be surrounded by good people who treat you nice. You are so special. You are so fragile. You are so chosen by God. Don't take that lightly. You protect your peace. Don't take that lightly. Don't let random naysayers on the internet throw you off. They don't even... Anyways.
I'm actually shocked at how long this is, because it only felt like 15 minutes.
Where's it at?
We are at 42 minutes right now. I know. And you did so good for not knowing what the topic is.
Well, look, at first I was kind of stumbling, because it's like... but
it came.
Yeah, it came.
Yeah, it came like it was supposed to.
Listen, followers, I hate surprises.
All 12 of y'all.
I literally hate surprises. Oh my gosh, I need to know what's going on. Don't surprise me for my birthday. Don't surprise me for Christmas. I'm a person that don't like surprises, so... Baby girl threw a curveball at me, and I did it.
You know what? She actually threw a curveball at me, because I actually wasn't going to do this. I was gonna come out here, and then she was like, "Yeah, we can record afterwards." And I was like, "Say less." And I'm definitely not because I've known that I wanted to talk to her about this for a long time, but I was like, "Well, since we're here," and the reason that we even got together, I was like, "This is literally what I'm trying to talk about." Like. This is it.
Perfect. That's perfect timing, seriously.
It happened like it was supposed to. And I love that you were the one who brought it up and not me. Because this episode was going to be about something else. So,
I guess we're going to save that for next time.
Yeah.
She ain't going to tell me until the day of. Oh, my gosh.
And so now, I'm not going to tell too much of your business, but now I have a longer time with Taylor. So, these will be more frequent.
They will.
Because I have so much to talk to her about. Because I love just like being inside her mind.
Yeah, I need to let people know what the heck going on.
Yeah.
So we'll save that for another episode where I can kind of give a whole backstory. Because I think even in the first episode, I don't think I even left corporate America at the time.
You didn't.
I think I was talking about no. I think I did.
You had I don't remember.
I don't remember
when did
either.
I start this? I did have a year of this podcast recently. I didn't even talk about it, but
congrats on her 1 year. I literally reminded her on her 1 year.
Yeah, because I didn't consider it because I felt like I was so inconsistent. I think in the whole year I had like I don't even know how many episodes, but I was so inconsistent, so I was disappointed. So I just felt like I shouldn't share it. But that's okay because
that's that high performer in you, bro. If you can't go all in and you don't really want to,
I was like, nobody needs to celebrate this because I didn't do what I was supposed to do.
No, you did. Consistency is key, and I think we're getting to that. But that's in every area. I feel like
sure.
If we gotta water what we love, and graceful growth was given to you, so we gotta water that.
That's so true, and I'm gonna wrap it up right now because I have something I want to tell Taylor that I'm not ready to tell y'all. But thank you for coming back. I hope that you guys love this episode as much as you love the first one with Taylor, if not more. We'll be back next week with a new guest. I'm very excited to talk to her. I wonder if she listens. I don't know. But anyway, I'll see y'all next time.
Bye, y'all.